Good evening. I'm District Secretary Nicole Gismelli. It is Tuesday, December 6, 2016, and this is a regular meeting of the Dublin San Ramon Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Pat Howard.
Would you join me in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Director Duarte?
Here.
Director Michala? Director Monteiro Leopold? Here. Vice President Halkett?
Here.
President Howard?
Here. Let's see, special announcement activities.
We have an employee induction tonight. And Hiram, our field operations supervisor, will do the introduction.
So, newest employee out of field operations, Tim Johnson. Tim comes to us with 16 years of experience in the water and wastewater industry. Tim's worked most recently as a utility worker for the city of Morgan Hill, where I had the pleasure of working with following me around. Tim's work at the city of Morgan Hill included the inspection of sewer mains, repair of sewer and water mains, preventative maintenance on lift station pumps and equipment. Tim holds certifications as a water distribution system operator grade 2, water treatment operator grade 1, collection systems operator grade 1, and he also has a state applicator's license. One of Tim's hobbies is raising and showing pigeons over the last 20 years, where he has been awarded numerous times. Tim started with us on October 10th and has quickly proven to be an asset in building the efforts.
Hello. Welcome. Bringing your own troops with you now. That's good stuff. Welcome.
And then we have one other special announcement. There will be the oath box administered at the December 20th board meeting. And half an hour prior to the board meeting, we're going to have a reception for the board members being reseated on the board. So that's 5:30. And you'll allow you followed by the regular meeting at 6 and the oath box being administered in that meeting.
Let's see, public comments, an opportunity to talk about any stuff that's not on the agenda. Reports.
No reports tonight.
External affairs and special laws on this It's all in the numbers. All right, agenda management, anything we need to move around? I don't think so. Approval of minutes.
I'll just review.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, that carries 4-0. And we move on to consent calendar. We have 3 items.
President Howard, we have a revision to item 8B on the consent calendar. As soon as that, will tell you the reason for that.
The original item in the board packet was requesting for a 21% increase, and staff realized that the cost of the extra work is actually more, so it's a 27% increase we're asking for rather than 21%. This is a $65,000 contract, and this is taking the plants, and while they're out there, we found more areas that we might fix and pay, so we added another 17.8.
So,
So in this spreadsheet, when you pull that, so we can kind of sit there, incorporate
Yeah, you have a new item before you.
My recommendation is that you approve to deal with the other items on the consent agenda and then have a separate motion approving item 8B as revised.
Awesome. I will make a motion to approve 8A and C as presented. Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve 8A and C. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, carries 4-0. And then 8B.
I'll make a motion to approve 8B as amended.
I always defer to my expert on discussion on this, and if he makes the motion, I'll gladly second it.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor of item 8B?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Carries 4-0. Now we move on to item 9A, board business, item 9A, financial statements.
President Howard, board members, happy to present tonight the financial statements of the audit report for the year ended 2016. Mr. Ned Nawi is present. He'll address you separately. Just a couple of points of highlight for you. Special thanks to Karen Baden, who's primarily responsible for the books. I think I can truthfully say we wouldn't be down here without her work and effort on the project. So a special thank you, Karen, for getting this done. The financial statements you've been seeing throughout the year that are in the packets are relatively unchanged. Year-end audit, we will close capital projects with final approvals. We'll reclass payment of the debt between capital and interest, and we'll record our PERS and OPEB, which is a small task, and then record our depreciation and amortization. But other than those events, the numbers are the same as you've been seeing throughout the year. Throughout the year, reported we're in strong condition. That continues. We've made our payments to PERS and OPEB that we've talked about, that Carol will come back after the first of the year and give you an update on. We made the second PERS payment, the three that were approved with the last budget, and OPEB remains almost fully funded. We'd like to go, and we'll get those details later. The operating funds remain in good shape. The operating funds including rate stabilization amounts in months. The water fund is almost the full 12 months. Regional is 11 months of reserves, and local is about 10 and a half months. So they're in relatively strong shape going into next year. The replacement funds, balances in these accounts we look at with engineering as will be the next 10-year plan, but there's 14 million in water, almost 20 million in regional treatment, and 9 in local collection. That's replacement improvement projects that are coming out. That spending is starting to ramp up as we age in infrastructure life. And the water expansion funds have benefited from some pretty heavy collections over the last 2 years of connection fees. The water fund has 19 million in it. Regional treatment is 47 million. That seems like a lot. Remember, that's got the lot and get payments in for the long term, so nobody run out and plan on spending that on anything extravagant. And the local sewer has about 7 million. Those are some of the highlights. I'll ask Mr. Godolly to come forward. He's got a formal communication to discuss with you, and I asked him to take a look at the new footnote on pensions, which I couldn't explain at the time. So leave it to him. Which one is the, I can try it.
You removed the other slides?
Oh, you can do it.
It gives me something to do. We're a self-service organization. I have complete control.
Well, good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and members of the audience. Thank you, John, for the introduction. I will be very quick. Sometimes I'm too quick because I do this a lot, so please stop me if you have any questions. But really, two things I want to discuss today. Communicate to you some of the required communications that we have to communicate to the board, and discuss with you your pension plan, and give you a little bit of a highlight of what's in the financial statements and no disclosure. So I'm going to start first by the required communication, starting by our responsibility as your independent auditors. We're mainly responsible for expressing an opinion on your financial statements. We're responsible for evaluating your internal controls, evaluating your compliance with laws, regulations, contracts, and grants, evaluating the tone at the top, making sure management and the governing body are sending the right message to the rest of the organization. we are responsible for ensuring the financial statements are clear and transparent and communicate any audit findings to the board. Management have a lot of responsibility in this process, probably more than we do. Even though we audit your financials, management is still ultimately responsible for the accuracy and completeness of those financials. Management is responsible for establishing and maintaining controls, for providing all financial records to us during the audit, address the financial statements for any material misstatements, establish controls to prevent and detect frauds, inform us of all known and suspected frauds, comply with laws and regulations, and take corrective action on audit findings. I wanted to highlight for you that the district has implemented a few new accounting standards this year. Obviously, you can see there's quite a few of them, but really the most significant ones were GASB 72 that had to do with the fair value measurement, this additional disclosure on how the district developed fair value. And then really all the other ones were amendments to the pension standards. It's just such a complex standard that they had to really do a lot of cleanup after the original one was issued. In terms of management judgment and accounting estimates, some of the numbers in your financials are not actual numbers, they're based on estimates, and that's okay as long as there's a reasonable basis behind that estimate. So I just wanted to highlight for you some of the estimated numbers in those financial statements. Those are your allowance for uncollectible accounts, the useful life of capital assets, the pension plans, the OPEB obligations that you have to benefit obligation. In terms of sensitive disclosures, I highlighted for you some of the notes that I believe are more sensitive or have more information that I think are very valuable. Some of them are related to your cash and investment, your capital assets, which are your two largest assets, basically. Also, your retirement plans, which is really one of your, I can't say it's your largest liability, and then the other post-employment benefits. I'm pleased to say that we encountered no difficulties during the audit. We did not have any significant audit adjustment. There was one adjustment that management has decided to pass on, and this was something that was being done every year. It's the accrual of payroll at the end of the year. The adjustment is below the reality for us, so we are just required to report to you that this adjustment was passed on. In terms of risk and exposure, we're not aware of any additional risk or exposure other than the matters communicated to us by the legal counsel. And then these are really all the required communication I have for today. I wanted to take the next few slides to kind of highlight for you your pension plan and how it works and what those numbers really means. So every year your pension plan or your net pension liability change, and these are basically the changes that happen in the pension plan every year. The ones that are highlighted in red are to be recognized over a period of time versus the ones that are not highlighted are to be recognized immediately. So every time employee work, they earn more benefits, and that would be recognized immediately. Any compensation changes, any interest on your outstanding pension liability, the contribution from the district, and the contribution from the employees, and all the benefit payments, all of those would be adjusted, would be reflected in your pension plan immediately. However, any changes in actual experience compared to the assumption, or any changes in the assumptions themselves, such as mortality rates, such as retirement age, some of those things. Also the changes in your share of the risk pool, of the CalPERS risk pool. Any changes to the benefits that you offer, that the district offers. And also the changes in the net investment income, what CalPERS is projecting to earn versus what they actually earn. All of these changes do not get recognized all in the same year. They get spread over a period of time. You can see here, I say amortized over EARSL, which really stands for expected average remaining service life of the employees. So they spread those costs over the average remaining service life of the district employees. The idea is to recognize all these costs while the employees are still working and not pass the benefit to future generations. So basically how we amortize these amounts is we use some accounts called deferred inflows and outflows, and I wanted to highlight for you here what was your pension expense over the last 3 years and what were those amounts that are yet to be amortized. So obviously in 2014, you were just on a pay-as-you-go basis, so you see the numbers were really almost not relevant to the comparison. But in 2015 and 2016, you implemented the new standards, and you see your pension expense was about $1 million in fiscal year 15 and about 1.6 in fiscal year 16. But then you see those deferred inflows and deferred outflows amount. What those really represent, they represent amounts that are yet to be recognized as pension expense over the next few years. So there are changes that happened in the plan, but you didn't really recognize them as pension expense yet. And then the bottom line reflects the district contribution to the plan. So you can see here that in 2015, your contribution included $5 million extra that the district has contributed, and also in 2016. Keep in mind that CalPERS is 1 year behind, so all the numbers that you get from CalPERS are really 1 year behind. So the numbers reflected in your fiscal year 16 financials do not include the last $5 million payment to the district, because they measured your liability as of 6/30/50. So there's really 1 year lag. So you'll probably next year you'll see the effect of this additional $5 million that was paid. On this slide, I wanted to summarize for you what were your plan assets, your pension liability, and the net pension liability, basically the unfunded portion. As of fiscal year 2016, which really measurement date for CalPERS is 2015, you had about $72 million in the plan, you had about $84 million in liability, and you had about $12.6 million of unfunded liability. Wanted to also emphasize that this is really one giant estimate, and trust the slightest changes in the assumptions can have a big impact on those numbers. So this slide really illustrates to you if we were to use 1% higher or lower on the investment rate of return. Currently, we're using 7.65%, and your liability is about 12.7 million. If we were to use 6.65%, your liability would be 24 million. And if we were to use 8.65%, your liability would be only 3 million. So these are obviously assumptions that CalPERS are the ones that are responsible for developing. And obviously the importance of this disclosure is to show you that these are just assumptions, and the actual results will be different, and it can significantly impact your liability either up or down.
And on the PERS is looking at these assumptions right now, and remind the board this is part of the reason we're making these payments, knowing that it will be coming, that they're going to be lower than the expected returns.
They're under tremendous pressure. It's a balancing act between actuarial good practice and making some cities and counties and that's really crushed. It's just to remind the board that if the liability goes up, then our payment goes up next year. Amortizing.
Yeah, that's right.
It could be a budget buster. They move that discount rate by 1 point. They can really move the mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, I actually don't have any other things to report, so I'm more than happy to answer any additional questions. No. I have two minor things, and my annual compliment about the debt disclosure. You never always go to the footnotes, the big tables of numbers, and the long-term debt disclosure gets really better by the year. So thank you to staff and thank you for helping. There was a time when it was difficult to tell that we had big piles of debt outside of our own organization, like IC Flood, with our JPAs. Is it true that we're knocking our coverage ratios out of the park right now? But we'll bring that down quickly when we start, without the engineers build something.
Yeah, that assumes the balances all go to debt, which Judy would coming to haunt me.
Right. But just for the boards, because it's hard to find, in footnote 7, our required coverage for in water is 1.2 and we're 7.2, so that's insanely high. It's 10.3 versus like 1 point something for sewer.
Right now, we're very heavy connections.
That's right. And then one direction, we talked about it last year, and it's still making me nervous. I'm trying to find it. Here we go, page 20, cash investments. The concentration risk that we face, we have a bunch of money with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and various others, government aid things, and given the interesting political climate that might be in the next week, likely, the interesting political climate that might be in the next few years, and that we already have some bond people working with us on a refi, maybe a little side project, just, not expensive, but just a quick analysis of what this could be, how, maybe use 08 as a baseline, when 08 happened, what happened to these exact type of securities and bonds and not an instant thing, but sometime in the semi-near future, just bring that back and let us know if there's a problem there. I don't think it's an audit issue. I mean, your audits just report the news.
Yeah.
But that piece of news,
We'll bring you a report.
yeah, maybe nervous. So much there, and they had to nationalize at least 3 of those entities during the 2008 crisis, which I think protected the bond value. But this time to nationalize things again, maybe not fair. And that's all. Just great audit. I'm glad these guys are easy to work with.
Yeah, great.
So I think we should accept this thing. All right.
Abby, did you have any remarks that you just wanted?
About, regarding
The audit.
the audit?
Best,
Oh, other than the audit?
best meeting of the year. This is.
For you, yeah.
How about
Considering where you, no, I thought it was amazing what I understood of it. I'm not a CPA, so I don't have the background for it, but really well done.
All right.
You made it understandable for someone like me. Who doesn't have the
Thanks to
background.
management there.
That's been the goal for a long time.
I move approval of the acceptance of financial statements year ended June 30th, 2016 with the auditor's report.
I will second.
Yeah, that's pretty much in 50 seconds you have it done pretty much.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed?
Oh, God.
That carries 5-0.
Could we possibly get copies of those slides?
Yes, I have them.
You have them?
Yeah.
John, I have this electronic.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to item 9B, which is a first reading. So I have a script that I'll work. This is the ordinance of the Dublin San Ramon Services District modifying sections 3.10.010, 3.20.050, 3.20.070, and 3.30.010, 3.40.040, 3.60.010, 3.60.050, and that's not enough. 3.70.010 of the district's ordinance code to define accessory dwelling units and provide for capacity allocation and capacity reserve fees assessment for accessory dwelling units. Is there a motion to waive the reading?
I will move to waive first reading of the first reading of the ordinance.
Oh, second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to waive the reading of the ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
No.
Okay, I'll delegate that, John.
I don't think it's delegatable, but it's.
Anyway, that passes 4-1.
Just to be clear, so you've waived the ordinance, but we would also do a motion to schedule the ordinance for second reading and adoption.
Oh, yeah.
December 20th meeting.
We're done yet.
Yeah, we're not done.
You still have script.
Yeah, I'm still on the script. Okay, so now, is there a presentation?
President Nora, I'll give you a summary of what you're doing with this action. This is a change to the district code regarding our water and sewer connection to conform with the recently passed Senate Bill 1069. So the objective of 1069 was to make it more affordable for people to convert portions of existing dwelling residential properties into accessory dwelling units, or that would be, for instance, your mother-in-law units, those type of units. And with the thinking that these units would provide more affordable housing options for people. And to make it more affordable, they're trying to control what agencies can charge for the water and sewer connection fees. So under our current code, if you have an accessory dwelling unit or you want to convert one of your existing structures to be an accessory to the building, we'll only charge a water fee if they ask for another meter, and then charge for the meter size. On the wastewater side, we charge a flat fee for expanding or an efficient use of the home. Under the new law, if they're building an accessory dwelling unit that's within the current footprint of the home or even current footprint of any of the structures on the property, without adding another story, we can only charge water and sewer fees based on the number of fixtures or on the square foot. So it's just a change in how you calculate that fee, how you do it, and so this ordinance will change our code to conform to that law.
So do you expect it to average out kind of like what it used to be, or did it big change? See?
I don't see a big change.
Yeah.
And we're already charging them, like I said, a flat fee for the wastewater connection, and that's based on about 640, this is the Dolores area, about 640 square feet. And now if somebody has 1,000 square feet unit, we'll charge them more. But so we just kind of use that flat fee that's kind of based on that square foot. So now it will just be, it won't be a flat fee.
And I know you wrestled with this for a long time. The definition, this has always been the squishy part, the definition of an accessory dwelling unit is,
Well, right now, under the law, it is using that area as another place, another living. I think you have an area to cook and a bathroom. That's essentially
Independent living unit.
an independent, which
A
is
separate independent living unit?
Yeah.
because it used to hinge like having a door. I mean, you literally,
Having a kitchen.
if I threw a kitchen, or, if I threw some sinks in my garage, I'm okay, but in the middle I put an outside door and somebody can,
Well, it's a separate living unit. Somebody can live there independently.
that's defined by the city, or land
That's
use.
defined by the city. So we had the,
When you say defined by the city, is that
so
like
the
that
cities
noted on
have
the
their
permit then?
own, the cities have their own zoning laws, and they define what the accessory dwelling unit is, their dwelling unit is. And so, we worked with the city of San Ramon and Dublin on this, and to make sure that we can refer to their definition of what an accessory dwelling unit is. And so through the ordinance, or through the code changes, we defer to the definitions that they have. And it's normally an independent living unit, and a separate kitchen and bathroom, and a place where they can sleep. Yeah. And
So
no
is this-
more than 1,200 square feet.
So it's regardless of whether it's attached to the existing home or somewhat detached?
Yes.
As long as it's an individual unit and it has
On
its own
the
entrance?
same parcel.
On the same property?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the cities do
And
this?
I did want to make a small correction. If the second dwelling unit is going to be constructed within the living space and they're not expanding, so they're not building, extending a wall or having a separate attached unit, we wouldn't charge.
So if I had a bonus room and I threw a small kitchenette and a little bathroom in there for my mother-in-law,
And
okay.
you separate it from the rest.
Well, no, it's already there, yeah, I mean, say it doesn't
Yeah.
live in the room, I decided to take one for the team, throw in some stuff for my mother-in-law. And do both cities define these things the same way, or is there some subtle differences?
It's a little bit different, but there's enough of similarity.
We wait for them to trigger. When they issue a permit, that triggers
They
this.
issue building permits for these uses, and they refer them to us.
Okay.
There hasn't been, I mean, I remember we had that one case where the guy did something, many years ago. I think pretty much.
There's been a few
I think
here
all
and
of
there.
them were built before.
Most of them weren't permitted.
And
Yes.
some new developments have a second dwelling unit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a-
Awesome. Don't know if it's good one.
Yeah, let's see, we have one. So is there a motion to schedule this meeting for December 20th?
Sure, I'll make that motion. There are 12 of us, now we have two.
Yeah,
We're almost all the way there.
I'll consider it a motion and a second.
There we go.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, that carries unanimously. So that gets us drafted on to item 9C, award of construction agreement.
Under this item, staff is requesting the board award a construction contract and a number of consulting task orders related to our Dublin expansion project. And I'm going to have Robin and Toby provide a briefing on this project. I'd like to say that I believe tomorrow is Robin's 1-year anniversary here in the district. In the last year, she's been given 2 very large projects, renovating actually the entire building up to speed of our common circle for operations courtyard, and the Durham project, which is the largest CIP had from a dollar standpoint in well over a decade. So she's had a very busy first year. And I'll let her summarize the project for you. Here's the
It's just one final presentation before I pass probation. So good evening. My name is Robin Matobi. I'm here to present the Durham Recycled Water Treatment Facility Phase 2 Improvements Project. We've been working really hard over the last year with our partner agencies, both East Bay Med and the City of Pleasanton. And we've also been working with our consultants who are here tonight, Carollo Engineers, as well as the Fowler Group, to complete the design of phase 2 improvements. So just to orient you, this is an aerial of our wastewater treatment plant, and our recycled water treatment facilities are on the north end of the plant. This is Johnson Drive and the access road as you come in. Immediately on your right side is Holding Basin 4 and the recycled water treatment facilities. So the project goals for the recycled water treatment facility improvements, basically we want to increase the recycled water production capacity from 9.7 MGP to 16.2 MGP. We'd also like to ready these improvements by the 2018 irrigation. So it's an aggressive construction schedule. Again, this is that little red triangle that was on the previous slide. It's a blow-up of the recycled water treatment facility and some of the improvements that we'll be making there. This is the driveway as you come in, and this is Holding Basin 4 where most of the facilities will be constructed. The centerpiece for the project improvements is a new active flow. It's an active flow turbo. It was a sole source item that we came to you in May to pre-purchase prior to start of construction. Active flow is a ballistic flocculating clarifier. It basically removes suspended solids from secondary effluent source water. We'll also be adding some new pumps at pump station R1, as well as a tertiary influent pump station. And the other major piece is we'll be adding some UV modules to our UV disinfection system. So there are 3 resolutions before you tonight to award 3 separate contracts related to the construction of the project. The first is a construction contract for $13.374 million to OBRA. This includes a bid alternate of $225,000 bid alternate is related to an additional bank of, an additional set of modules for the UP banks. We have completed bioasset testing of our UP system, and we're awaiting results of those tests. Within a few weeks, we'll be able to determine whether or not to implement the bid alternate based on the results of those tests. And OVRA is wanting to work with us on that. With OVRA's bid, there were a few bid irregularities associated with their electrical subcontractor. The first is their experience modification ratio for the electrical subcontractor was a bit high, and so we're asking the board to waive that irregularity. The other is that this electrical sub works exclusively with several general contractors, including OVRA. They have a long-standing relationship with OVRA, and they don't have an unimpaired bonding capacity. They don't carry bonds. Their general contractors don't require that of them, and they tend to perform their work under the general contractor's performance line. Finally, we're asking the board to authorize a 7% change order contingency, which is approximately $900,000 of the construction contract. And then the two other resolutions are related to awarding a construction management contract for approximately $1.1 million to the Capella Group, and an engineering services during construction contract to Capella Engineers for $700,000. Both of the firms worked with us through design and did a fantastic job getting us to tonight and keeping us on schedule. So we're happy to work with them through construction. The total project costs with OVRA's bid and other soft costs have been expended to date are approximately $18.4 million. DERWA budgeted $19 million and change originally, and DSRSD's budgeted cost share at that time was $9.6 million. So our engineer's estimate was $15 million. And OVRA's bid came in significantly under at $13.149 million. So, in essence, there's a budget surplus, if you will, for DSRSD's portion about $1.2 million. The proposed cost shares are based on current capacity rights and future demand, 46% to DSRSD and 27% At the writing of the staff report, Pleasanton had not yet secured funding. They have since told us that they have. They're going to their city council for approval in late December or early January. So we hope to give OVRA an NTP by late December, if not early January. They're anxious to get on site and start work. We have some milestones ahead of the irrigation season this year. And so there's some work to be done right away. There's 420 calendar days with the contract to substantial completion, which would put us into the And then we'll do some startup and testing in the summer and fall. So the one item that Dan and Judy asked me to talk to you about is that we will have to close the residential fill station at the wastewater treatment plant during construction for public safety reasons. And they will be back to talk to you about other residential fill station options at a board meeting shortly. And then finally, Sue and Dan are planning a party for groundbreaking January 25th at 10 a.m. So we're going to do a lot of time. Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Questions?
Sure.
What was the EMR for HGH Electric?
It was don't remember the exact number, but it was around 2.
2.
They had,
They had a tail.
yeah, no, they actually had 2 injuries under what they called an OSIP plan, which is an owner-controlled insurance plan. They were working on another contract where the owner had a workers' comp umbrella plan, if you will, and 2 of their workers filed claims in 2014 or 2015. So it's just now hitting their EMR.
One of the reasons I don't like those.
Right, they had no, their insurance company had no control over the claims and how they were processed. And they were hit with the EMR increase as well.
That's not really reflective of, I don't think, of that company's, I happen to know the company. I don't think that's reflective of the typical safety record. They're really big.
So 2 claims, but 2 claims could.
They're actually quite small. They used to be around 30, and in the last few years,
They've gone down.
they've gone down to about 15 employees. And so the EMR tends to, because it's a matter of work hours performed during the year, and then people being out of work for a certain number of days, it tends to hit smaller companies harder.
I've learned from experience, you can get bids pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't take much.
That one you got, 50 factory members, more than that's a significant.
What, I don't understand, when you say absence of unimpaired bonding, the district isn't going to require a bond from HGH?
Right, it's been a standard in our front ends for a long time, where we ask the electrical subcontractor for we ask what their unimpaired bonding capacity is, and HGH, which is the electrical subcontractor, said that they only work exclusively with OBRA and a handful of other firms.
So that's in our general conditions.
Yes, the asking of the bonding capacity.
Well, for the future, I would recommend that we remove that requirement, because that is completely irrelevant. I mean, the bonding of a subcontractor the bond is in favor of the general contractor, never in favor of the owner. That's why we require an overall bond from the prime contractor. And the cost of that subcontractor bond is either in the bid or absorbed by one of the 2. But it's not something that we should have any say-so on. With regard to the cost for the $702,000 for Corolla, what does that cover?
It's basically engineering support during construction. It includes a number of things, like if there are questions about the active flow, which is a proprietary system.
So it's contract admin question services.
It's responding to RFIs, and it's reviewing policy.
$702,000. That's a lot of money for it. I'm thinking they have, at least every engineering firm I'm aware of has contract admin services in their base bid, and you've got $1 million worth of construction management services being furnished during the same period, which includes a review of the RFIs. So I don't know, is that enough to exceed them?
Yes,
So it's billed on an as-needed basis.
yes.
My last question is about the Cabello subcontractor for certified payroll compliance.
I don't recall the name.
It's RGM.
Nothing wrong with the proposal. The numbers are good, but I would be remiss if I didn't make this statement. I think, well, none of our senior management is here anymore. It was a little over a year ago when I voted against us accepting a grant from the state that required that we incorporate the LCP tracker certified payroll system into all of our jobs. And I'm just telling you, the chickens came home to roost. It's $50,000 worth of labor compliance, and I can guarantee you there's at least that much in OVRA and the other subcontractors for complying with that ridiculous requirement that has to send electronically certified payrolls up to the state. And every subcontractor on this job and every worker on this job, to the exception of HGH, is going to be a union contractor, a union employee. And those results, those payroll reports are automatically tracked anyway. And we're paying for something that we shouldn't have to pay. I realize it's not the district's doing, it's not the contractor's doing, it's not the engineer's doing, but it just ticks me off. It's another example of how organized labor is controlling Sacramento and forcing this baloney down our throat. So, good report. I have no problem with the contract or the amounts, but I just had to get that off my chest.
Where is that in here? So I need to look.
It's under RGM Associates, which they're a subcontractor to Cabello.
Got it.
So they've got to spend $50,000 for a labor compliance specialist.
Nice.
Which means you read a certified payroll report that's 1 freaking page long.
But it is related to our wanting to remain eligible for state funding. And so that labor compliance component and all various other data saving requirements were part of the contract documents. And basically, we're just trying to remain eligible for funding if that becomes.
Yeah, it's extortion.
Next time the urban water management plan is presented to you, ask about the BMPs and some of the ones we have to do. Some of the crazy BMPs we have to do to stay eligible for funding as well.
And that'll keep up in the rest of our jobs too.
Three quickies. So the cost share makes sense. Is the notice to proceed contingent on East Bay Mud and Pleasanton asking their funding? I noticed those dates kind of lined up, late December, early January.
Yeah, the notice to proceed is independent. So this is in the Durham budget, passed by the Durham board. It's in DSRSD individual budget, and East Bay Mud is also budgeted for it on their side. So we budgeted for the project. We are working with the other agencies. We talked about a cost share for a long time. Had that delay with Pleasanton, trying to find where they're going to line up their funding. But the Durham Authority manager is right now drafting, we had a discussion earlier this week, is drafting sort of a memo to all the agencies officials saying this is what the cost share will be at this point. And then he's going to also take that to the Durham board to a resolution in March. But I don't see the cost share changing more than a few percent on any side.
So let's not want to be a wet blanket. Let's pretend like maybe one of the agencies fits the bid and doesn't actually pass what they need to pass to get this thing funded. Who takes care of the other 20%?
In that case, DSRSD, East Bay Mud, will pay for their supersize recycled water plant, which capacity we will need ultimately anyway, so we'll be buying a little bit more of the plant sooner than otherwise.
Speak with a lot of finesse. And you get where, I mean, biting off a $16 million, I haven't spent $16 million in 12 years, several years. No, but it's been a long time since I spent this much money in one go. And not having all the funding ironclad makes me nervous.
We also passed on a consent calendar was a services agreement between Durham and DSRSD, which outlined the sort of our responsibilities to build and construct, and that we would be billing them and their responsibility to pay us. So they will pay us like through them.
It's just 1/4 of this project, 1/4 of this Durham project is not in Durham. Makes me nervous. I'll leave it at that. So if we break ground in the winter, which is always fun, and we're going to work for a little over a year on this. So I'm assuming this thing is staged in a way that there'll be no interruptions in the 2017 irrigation guys been working in other places, 2017 state?
So as far as our current litigation customers?
Yes.
Yeah, the way the, Robin can answer this as well, but the way the project is sort of phased and sequenced is they're trying to get started as soon as possible to do some of their concrete work and their work in the base, in sort of the base part of that active flow unit. So then they have that structure built so then they can start working inside of it when you need to use the full base. So it's been phased so that we can keep operating while the construction.
That's my two questions.
I will start with resolution 1. I will move that we waive irregularities and award the construction agreement for the Bureau of Title 1 water treatment facility, Phase 2, CIP 16-R014, to Overrun Company in the amount of $13,374,000, which includes bid alternate A, authorize the GM to approve construction orders up to approximately 7%, not to exceed $900,000.
I will second. Good time, Georgia.
That's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and opposed? No? Carries unanimously. And then there's the second agreement.
I'll move to approve consulting agreement with the Bell Group and authorize execution of task order number 1 in the amount not to exceed $1,070,670 for construction management services.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? That carries unanimously. And the third one.
Turn, Georgie.
Okay. We find the third one here. It's on the blue one. It's on the, basically, it's on the, okay.
Approved, thank you. A consulting agreement with Grow Engineers and authorize execution of the task order number 1 in an amount not to exceed $702,300 for engineering services during construction. That was my motion. Yeah, I do have one question. We are going to be looking for other places, right? I know confirmation, we're going to be looking for other places for the recycled water station.
We'll bring
next
a
summer.
report on some of the options.
Okay.
I think the next board meeting, the January 3rd board meeting, that we're discussing.
I'll stick with the motion, and I will remind staff that when we did the East Dublin expansion, there was a recycled line that runs right past Georgina's front lawn. It's really easy to tap into when you use the driveway and maybe the grass. You'll probably get like three
We have
stations.
two options, we'll end at it.
Follow me through.
Drive down our street and look at how pretty my lawn is. Just be quiet.
It's leaking.
Actually, Tom would love it, because he'd probably get,
Yeah.
he'd get to build something, he'd get to like put it
Oh,
in
there you
a
go.
little thing.
As long as his knees don't get out, it's fine.
Okay, that's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No, that passes unanimously. Okay, so that takes care of item 9C. Okay, item 9D, direct staff to deposit Pleasanton's share of recycled water in the system fund.
Excuse me, like this one, Rich?
Why do we have to have it?
Yeah.
Are we afraid it's going to bounce or something?
No, the money's already, I mean, this one, the money's already received. There's some, the agreements are silent as to what to do with it. And we spoke about this, and just want everybody to agree that this is money that should go into the replacement or improvement fund, and not necessarily into an expansion fund, because it is a buy-in to the existing system. And any repairs that are done will be done out of the replacement of the system. So what we're really seeking is the concurrence on this
Where
approach.
it's going.
So,
And now it's part of the record as to what fund it went into.
Well, it also says that for the next payment, that'll be coming, in the future, so that we all agree, and then we all know why we put it where we put it.
And that is written so that it covers the future.
It was just.
Yes.
It's just direction, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I do his resolution.
Yeah.
The resolution is talking about insurance as well.
Okay.
we insist that they give all these payments in the form of those really big checks that you get. I really want Pleasant to bring in a big check.
I believe they did on their first payment.
Yeah.
First payment.
No, he just brought a real check.
Here we come on, look, I want those big cardboard ones, we can close with it.
They were paying your
It's been
share.
a real
Yes.
big check.
Big ones, so we can take a picture documenting that they paid their share.
And I'll make with that bit of levity, I will make a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
And I will second that motion.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passes unanimously.
That's transparency.
Okay, receive a report on water quality.
So we'll have our newest representative on the Mystery Senior Management Team make the presentation tonight, our brand new Operations Manager, Jeff Carson.
President Board, I'm going to give a brief summary of our water distribution system, the water quality. So as part of the monitoring plan for the water distribution system, we roughly take 20 samples weekly to verify compliance at various locations in the system. They're going to bring up a graph up here soon. Recently, we had two exceedances in 2 locations for a total call for, which is an indicator test. Under 5% of the samples taken for total samples show compliance. And anytime you have over 5%, it shows out of compliance. We believe the 2 problem areas are the high zones, and particularly in West Dublin, right here, and Duxbury Valley, the areas right up here. They're due to the water age, the older water, higher zones, and a seasonal drop in demand. Notifications to customers in the West Shepherd Ranch area, approximately 320 customers, and Duxbury Valley area, roughly 4,000 customers, are in the process of having their 30-day notification sent out for the requirement. This is considered a Tier 2 notification. The West area had a previous issue, as you recall, in September this year. Notices were sent out, but no public comments were received. Steps are being discussed to resolve the issue. Currently, we are taking measures of adding disinfectant to the reservoirs, flushing, and viewing the water cycling in the reservoirs patterns and history of times. A more aggressive approach is being investigated, and I plan on assessing the trouble areas to ascertain if a specialized SOP is warranted or seasonal evaluation. The presence of coliform is an indicator that you should do more detailed tests that we have done, and those tests basically have came back negative. And the test that we test for is the more harmful bacteria. It's an indicator that could potentially be more harmful bacteria. So currently the water is safe, just want to let you know that. And then we have a lot of energy and skill to gather an understanding of what's taking place. So we have a subject matter expert, Clint, in the audience, our laboratory, and we're working close together to try to work through this.
So this is an addition, so this is more than the September, so we had September, yeah, and this is the total, right, this is the indicator one. The bad stuff still doesn't kind of show up.
Right. So we did a clear test first. This is the second time. We had an indicator test where we do follow-up tests both times back, September and November. And we're okay.
Is the
in
follow-up,
terms of water safety.
is the follow-up new water, or do you get to test the water that have that indicator? Is the follow-up test done on a new sample, or is it a follow-up on the sample that?
Correct, it's a new sample, so it's a new sample, it's upstream and downstream for the requirement.
So we haven't, so don't have a test of bad indicator water, then come up, that may or may not be clear. You see where I'm going? It's a timing difference.
Correct. There's several duplicates for quality control in our utility. So they run several quality control runs prior to running the actual test. And then they have tests for confirmation with the more serious tests that tries to give the sample.
I guess where I'm headed is where the sample that came up bad with the indicator is taken out, I once on a house, you guys take your samples up, like a bunch of bottles, comes up bad. That chunk of water, is that retested for the bad stuff? Or do you go out and get new water?
So we don't put it. So we tested the spot. It goes to the water, and we go, and then go back. And when we have a problem in that spot, we go back out to the same spot, and go to the spot. So then we use it.
Which is well and good. Wouldn't it make sense, though, if we have water with a bad indicator, to check that very water? More the bad stuff.
So test it once, go back out, test it again, and test it each side. You're trying to get it slowly. So.
But you're not testing the water that indicated bad.
Okay, so
But it doesn't get good.
So sometimes if you have less than 5% of your tests in a month with olive oil, that's an indicator that you're not required to do tests. So we're following the state requirements. So it's not every time we have the presence of olive oil, we would do tests, we do something as you are suggesting. Which is once you get over the 5% level, you follow state criteria. But it's not the case for every instance. It's like in a situation like we have a problem, you have only a small number, less than 5% test in a certain time period. Not right, any test.
That's a piece of information I have. Or I can. So is it 5% system-wide, or is it a segment? So you could have one spot that's bad all the time, that doesn't represent 5% of our thing, and never retest it? Just trying to learn the rules of the road.
By permit, by rules, yes. By operations, if we saw a problem, we would show up, even if we weren't required to do that, we notify. We would want to look into the problem, why do we have an issue with the problem that all this is the same. So even though not required to do so, we would do that.
So it's good. I mean, these are, the two on the left, those are the identical, identical locations.
The two on the left of this region right here,
Yeah.
there's actually a smaller reservoir that comes into a large reservoir. And the turnaround in the tank isn't as frequent because of the seeds and things like that. We're looking at a lot of different variables. Very much on top of it.
And sorry to be pedantic, it's just, I think I heard 4,000, with several thousand of these notices going out, especially big ones up to San Ramon and a bunch of them go to York Valley, somebody's going to ask. Cool, we'll figure it out.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, let's move on. Okay, item 9F, pull up the study.
Yeah, I told Rich Sunday night that we're now the institutional memory.
You ready to stay on that?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, wait, we have the real item, too. Oh, pictures, here's the bigger one. Yes. Oh, wow.
It's not always suitable for family.
Right, we have the real one.
Okay.
Make sure you hang it really high so when things flood.
All right. Whereas on April 10th, retired as the district's financial services supervisor to oversee and direct all activities of the financial services division, including accounting, budget preparation, payroll, accounts receivable, and whereas on October 15, 2013, after the financial services manager retired, John was promoted to interim financial services manager to direct the operations of financial services and to provide highly responsible and complex administrative support to general manager. Now, whereas the silvery tsunami of retirements inspired the general manager to leave. No. To reorganize the district and combine the financial services department and the organizational services department under one senior manager, the administrative services manager, which John was promoted. See, that was on January 20th of 2015, overseeing finance and customer service, human resources, safety, risk management, and information systems. Whereas John was energetic champion of continuous improvement, organizational development, professional development, and implemented a number of internal professional development classes and programs. And whereas John was helpful and thoughtful to mentor the senior managers and supervisors of the district over a number of years. And whereas upon retirement of the general manager, the DSS, this board, appointed John as the interim general manager on November 3rd of 2015. Well, I didn't realize it was that long. Time flies. Yeah. And he was appointed to the interim manager to keep a steady hand on the bill. Which he did. He did a great job. And he helped out the search for a new general manager. Whereas John held the position of interim general manager for 6 months and his performance was exemplary and an inspiration to all his teammates in the district. Whereas on April 6th, 2016, John resumed his position as administrative services manager, the longest tenured senior manager and holder of the most corporate memories up until now. Whereas John communicated his retirement to the board and the general manager well in advance so as to provide a smooth recruitment and transition of a successor as administrative services manager. Whereas on September 26, 2016, John became assistant general manager to onboard the new administrative services manager and tackle special projects as general manager's office. And whereas John provided superlative leadership to the staff and teammates throughout his career in the district, and whereas John tried valiantly to convince engineers their budgets did not need to be precise with according just beyond the decimal.
The squirrels up there.
Running off the pennies, I guess, is okay.
Dearest dollars.
Dearest dollars, yeah. That's close enough to go. Whereas the board of directors of the Livermore-Amador Valley Water Management Agency commended John for his service to their treasurer, as the treasurer from October 16 of 13 to November 15 of 2016. And whereas John will be greatly missed by his lunchtime walking buddies, whereas the senior management team is now in place and John and his wife Evie are free to move on to their custom-designed home now that in the great Gulf Coast. The well-deserved retirement. Now, therefore be proclaimed that the Board of Directors of the Dublin General Services District, a public agency in the state of California, counties of Alameda and Contra County, congratulate John J. Archer on his retirement and recognizes his 14 years of devoted leadership and steadfast service. Adopted this Is there a motion?
I so moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. That carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Oh, done.
Good fun.
Let's get over to it. Somebody want to take a photograph? They don't have a check.
Right there.
Then you can email it to John.
Yeah.
Okay. What was an omission?
Thank you, it's been fun. You got a good team.
Alrighty, so now we have board member items. Let's see. Abby, do you have any board member items?
Report from Aqua. I attended Aqua last week in Anaheim. And on day one, I attended in the morning, it was an Aqua JPIA seminar on trial in the water district. It was a mock trial of the determination of district. That's the name of the district, fictitious district. But it's all based on what can happen with sexual harassment in the workplace. And attorneys that work directly with Aqua played big roles. And it was the board member, male board member was harassing a female contract worker and threatened her job. And the attorney who was playing the board member was suitably sleazy in his acting role. And the plaintiff was suitably teary. And they didn't manage to keep everyone's full attention throughout the process because they ran it like a trial for 2.5 hours. With some levity, despite the seriousness and what can happen in such a situation. They got their point across very well. It was exceedingly well done, unless we offered the vote, whether to convict or not. So,
Did he get convicted?
oh yeah. He certainly did. He was a gunner. And that afternoon, I attended a session on sexual harassment prevention for board members and managers, and it was a good follow-up to the morning's activity. On day 2, one of the ones I attended was a statewide issue forum on Think Global, Act Local, and basically what that local water agencies have a problem because of the crippling drought and state restrictions levied by the state. Lots of significant regulatory impacts. There's compromise of the deltas from the Colorado River has a problem with clogged mussels. And then there's our famous Delta smelt and the worst economic recession in recent memory. The Colorado Basin itself has only been at 50% capacity for the last 20 years. It's huge. Arizona takes more water, pulls more water from the Colorado River than Nevada and California combined. And they have been doing it for a long time. Lake Mead Reservoir is historically low levels. And along with the clogged mussels, the water basin contamination is a huge issue. So over the years, and Southern California, this was actually presented by Metropolitan Water District. So Southern California, LA area is looking at potable reuse, development of new regional water sources, recharge and storage of groundwater basins through deliveries of water to those basins, And interestingly enough, Metropolitan Water District is the only district in the world of 5 different grades of water: tertiary, nitrified, indirect potable reuse, recycled water, and desalinated clean water. Which is pretty remarkable. And it's to survive the drought and all the issues with our water supply, cooperative effort between agencies is critical. And then I attended generational changes in the work and challenges in the workplace, and relating to the silver tsunami, retirees are leaving gaps, and millennials are coming in. 1 in 3 employees will retire in the next 5 to 10 years. That's huge. That is really big. And water agencies need to attract millennials to protect what they have. Status quo has been standing in the way of getting millennials, so status quo has to go. Water industry changes constantly. Interestingly, UC Davis is the only university in the country that offers hydrology data. So at least the one that's in California. And then a fellow, Kevin Wheeler from the Future of Talent Institute. So current trends are showing that marriage is hugely on decline. Millennials and the upcoming Generation Y, they're more mobile. They can work virtually from anywhere. They want to be away from the cities. They want to go to the rural areas, and it makes attracting talent very difficult. They don't want to be obligated to be in one place. So working at a workplace and coming in the 8 to 5 or that type of mentality is going away. And water agencies, like everybody else, has to change a little bit or lose that segment of the demographics and population and current talent, younger talent to come in. So generational challenges everywhere. 60% of college students, university students, do not complete their degree, which I found astounding. They've moved from a fixed path to go for the opportunities as they arise. Relationships have moved away from fixed, like marriage, to flexible. If it works, well, it works, and if it doesn't work, move on. Which is foreign to most of us, but that's what's coming. And the worldwide trend of labor force moving away from cities also challenges. They have the internet, why can't I work virtually? So you lose a lot of the collaboration in office, working with your peers that can justify that for so long. And the 21st century generation thinks critically, learns continuously, is innovative and creative, and we challenge the status quo. And Generation Y coming up will want to retain some of the stability and security, but it's not their be-all and end-all. And in current life, as life is now, in large part, not just in water agencies, but HR and managers are generationally unaware. I felt that was too broad a statement for me, that they feel that virtual work is faster than just physically working in the office. And it was felt that a framework for long-term urban water conservation policy as outlined by the governor is critical. That was another session I attended, and a couple of important takeaways are that strengthening local drought resistance is key. You've got to keep it local. It may be global, but you've got to keep a handle on it local. And every agency wants to avoid uniform statewide mandates because they don't necessarily apply to your specific district. And if the mandates come down, they're all stuck, regardless of how we handle our district and how well or poorly a district handles itself. It will have to step up or step down to anything that's mandated by the state. And we need a strategy for a 5 dry year assessment. And eliminate water waste where possible. And the state is, in effect, saying we'll be a data bank for 3 targets of water use. Indoor target for residential home use. Outdoor target does not really apply to residences. It's more for corporate and major landscaping, parks, corporate, major outdoor water users. And then the third is keeping a control on water loss. And then one thought that they presented really stood out for me, and this is my last item, I'm not going to say that. Shouldn't indirect potable reuse employed by some agencies count toward the target achievement? Because essentially you're using recycled water first. And I thought, that's a pretty good statement. So that was my statement for that. And the high priority for Aqua seems to be working on the nuts and bolts of the proposed related. Was that the week?
Well, I just wanted to publicly thank John for his service to the district. He's been a good personal friend to me, and you're the last original familiar face during my first 4 years as a board member, and now every chair is filled with a fresh new face, which is good. So congratulations.
You seem to have driven everybody away.
Enjoy your retirement.
I have nothing to add except that I concur with Dan. We're going to miss Jim John, good luck in Alabama.
I got pictures there, so.
Oh, okay. No, you've been an excellent steerer of the till. No, that's not how it goes, huh? The till's getting the till. That was a Freudian slip. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, John.
Thanks. Richard throw us all the money is.
You're going to give us all
You know, you
your...
raise questions about it.
The
You're going
crazy-
to give us your cell phone, right?
The crazy little fun with the.
You're gonna let us know how to
He's
do
not gonna have
it.
it, Joe.
Oh, Carol's gonna get it? Yeah, we'll get it from Carol. So you
And I
can say
just
hi.
would like to add that I really appreciate your time that you spend with them. Just we were collaborative, just keep it going nice and smooth. So, really, yeah, that was really good. Outstanding. Me? I don't have a speaker. It's all memorized. Okay, now we'll be going into closed session for the 2 items listed on the agenda, 11A and B. We don't anticipate a report out. If there is a report out, you can get that information from the district secretary, as we're now going to end the broadcast. So thank you for attending, and we'll head off to our closed session.
Thank you.